The Joker turned Arkham Asylum into a castle dedicated to Batman, and upon walking inside, Batman was met by guards dressed as him and Joker dancing inside of cages with electrically charged water. According to one of the guards, Joker had forced them to dance for days, and if they stopped, he was gonna kill them instantaneously. So Batman pressed an EMP button on his utility belt to shut off the power, but when that didn't work out, he was forced to think of something more clever, pulling out some mini absorbent gadgets and using them to soak up all the water. While making his way through the rest of the asylum though, he'd quickly realized that things were about to get a whole lot crazier, because after stepping inside of a dark hallway, he was greeted by a flaming horse that almost knocked him onto the ground, and upon dodging it, Joker commanded a massive group of Arkham inmates in Batman-themed armor to ignite their flaming swords and fill the room with Batman's blood. So Batman slammed a smoke bomb onto the ground and began taking them down one after another. But eventually he lost control of the fight because there was just way too many people clawing at him simultaneously. So in an effort to reposition himself, he pulled out his grappling gun, pulled himself up to the ceiling by hooking it onto a pipe, and then took out a large group of the remaining inmates by flying down and tackling them to the ground. After that, the only inmate was one who was riding a horse, but he was charging right at Bruce in an effort to slice his head off. So Bruce literally punched the horse in the head with as much force as possible, causing the inmate to go flying off and allowing him to take the horse for himself to navigate the rest of the prison, which would turn out to be a pretty horrific experience because the Joker had a lot more in store for him, like a giant mural of some of Bruce's greatest tragedies painted on a wall of living bodies who were all chanting "Hail the Bat King." But even then, his tour of the castle was far from being over, because upon making his way up a set of spiral stairs, he was confronted by a bunch of different villains from his rogues gallery like Scarecrow, Clayface, and Mr. Freeze, who ended up turning his horse into a solid block of ice and then smashing it into tiny pieces. So Bruce quickly neutralized him with some sort of heating device, stole his freeze ray to render Clayface as a defenseless block of ice, and when Scarecrow tried sticking him with a giant cloud of fear toxin, he simply equipped a mouth guard and then forced Scarecrow to breathe in his own gas, which effectively knocked him unconscious. However, when he finally made it to the top to confront the Joker himself, he was met with something completely unexpected. Joker put together some sort of bat throne for him and invited even more of his rogues like Riddler, Penguin, and Two-Face. But what made it even more strange was a group of knockoff Justice League members that the Joker was about to sacrifice. But sadly, that's when this issue comes to an end, but if you want to see what happens next, let me know in the comments down below.